For the first time in 15 years, the Toronto Raptors are advancing to the second round of the NBA playoffs. May 4th, 2001, defeating the New York Knicks was the last time the Raptors made it to the second round. And what a game that Game 7 was versus Indiana. What's going on, YouTube? I'm Mr. Wheels, welcoming you to another edition of Sports Talk. It came down to the wire. The Raptors were up 16 points midway through the fourth quarter. Ended up winning 89-84 the final. And what can you say about this team, man? Like, this is an emotional video for me to make because I remember that series in 2001. And, you know, this time the Raptors advancing is just as big, if not bigger. DeMar DeRozan stepping up with 30 points in this Game 7. Raptors finally getting the monkey off their back and advancing to the second round after losing Game 7 2 years ago. But everybody stepped up. It wasn't just DeMar DeRozan. JV had a double-double. Bismack Biyombo on the last shot by Indiana. He was in Paul George's face. And, I mean, if he hadn't been there and that shot went down, could have been a different outcome. Corey Joseph, Norman Powell, all of those guys were huge. Indiana came back in that fourth quarter trying to do what Toronto did in Game 5. It wasn't to be, and I think the right team won this series. Indiana played much better than a 7th seed, and looking ahead, Miami is going to be that much tougher. Now, it's too late for me to do an NBA second round predictions because the second round officially starts tomorrow. But maybe I will do Raptors Miami Heat preview tomorrow because that series probably doesn't start until Tuesday. But let's recap the Toronto-Indiana series. You know, I want to talk about like Game 1 to Game 7. Now, Game 1, the Raptors, I didn't really get to see much of any of the first half of that first game. The Raptors led until late in the second half. Paul George took that game over. But the bright spot for Toronto in those first two games really was Jonas Valanciunas. Especially in Game 2. I mean, he carried the Raptors offense. Game 3, it was in Indiana, it was the Raptors bench really picking it up and getting it done. Game 4, I kind of knew it was coming. I kind of knew it was coming. The Raptors kind of laid an egg and didn't lead in that game at all. And they got spanked in Game 4. Game 5, I did a video on it. I'll put it in one of the cards there. That was a massive comeback win. Game 6, Indiana stormed back. What I'm trying to say is this series was really back and forth, and it could have went either way. And I almost don't know what to think because we've had so many disappointments as Raptor fans that this is almost too much to comprehend in a way. But the one thing I want to point out is, the Raptors, the big difference between this team in 2016 and the team in 2001 is that they do it as a cohesive unit. 2001 we had Vince Carter, always there to carry the load, and now we've got Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan, but when this Raptors team is doing well, it's usually because they're getting production from the bench. The All-Stars are doing their thing. The big guy in the middle, JV, is a double-double machine doing his thing. I'm just so excited that the Raptors are moving to the second round. And, I will say that there was too many turnovers for the Raptors in this game. Even though they led for the majority of the game, too many turnovers, even for a victory. You know, and there's some things they have to clean up. Obviously got to get better behind the arc, and you got to hit those foul line shots when you do get those chances. Because I'll give you a brief preview of what Miami has. Compared to Indiana, they're much better in the middle. Hassan Whiteside, Justice Winslow, Chris Bosh, all of those guys can really get it done in the paint. Then you got Dwayne Wade and a host of other supporting cast in Miami. They don't have an outright superstar like they used to, and like Indiana did, but they're they're very comparable to the Raptors right now because they get things done as a unit as well. So hopefully I'll have a video of that coming up either today or tomorrow or the next day. And if you've liked this video, guys, please remember to give it a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Leave me a comment down below, tell me what you thought of the game, and I'll see you next time.